The ladder would have reset today. Let's go and take a look and see what we can get. Excuse me, what? Welcome back, everyone, to more from the Sableyes. I'm Mitch, and today we have a very interesting ladder that has just updated. Arceus, Dialga, and Palkia-GX, one of the best cards that has ever been printed in the game, is free for the next 22 days on PTCGO. So if you haven't already started your climb up the ladder, make sure that you do so now, because this card is incredible. What we're going to do is we're going to take a look at it with a couple of brand new cards from Chilling Reign to see how you can put together one of the cheapest and best decks in the format. It is genuinely unbelievable. Last month we had Zacian V, and this month we have ADP, the ever-hated GX Pokemon that is so good that it's one of the best decks in the standard format. If you haven't seen this card, you've been living under a rock for a little bit. Let's talk about it for a second. Altered Creation GX is the attack that we want to focus on. For 1 Metal Energy, we can use our GX attack and deal 30 more damage for the rest of the game with our Pokemon. The most important thing, though, is that if we attach a Water Energy to that ADP, when we GX with the extra Water Energy on top, we take an extra prize. That is obnoxious. Ultimate Ray, as if the card already wasn't good enough, deals 150 damage for a Water, Metal, and Colorless Energy, and you accelerate 3 basic energies from your deck to your Pokemon in any way that you like. 150 damage doesn't seem that good, but when you're dealing 180 instead, you can knock out every support Pokemon in the game, which is frankly obnoxious. This card is very, very good, and the fact that they're giving away 2 for free means that you can build ADP really, really easily. Our deck only uses 2 of them. We also have, as a partner, Zacian V. There's 3 of them in the deck. You could get 2 of them for free last month. They are also super cheap because they were free last month, so easy cards to pick up, and this card is probably the best card that's ever been printed in the game as well. They just pair together so well. Intrepid Sword as an ability means that we draw 3 cards, and if any of them are Metal Energies, we can attach them to our Zacian, and Brave Blade for 3 metal deals 230. With the ADP's GX attack in play, we deal 260. With a copy of the Rusted Sword card, which our deck plays 1 of, we deal 290 damage. And we're going to knock out a tag team Pokemon in 1 shot and take 4 prizes. That sounds really fair. This deck is a slightly different variant of ADP. I wanted to try something a little bit more interesting, something that benefits a bit more from Chilling Reign rather than just a straight ADP deck. So it's not quite as consistent, but it does have some cool cards, including 3 copies of the brand new supporter Peony, which discards your hand and you search your deck for 2 trainer cards of your choice. This is really, really good because in the early game, we can grab cards like Metal Saucer, we can grab cards like Energy Switch, to try and get ourselves our GX attack as quickly as possible. And it also gives us a little bit of extra consistency to try and find cards like Air Balloon or Quick Ball to try and draw extra cards. We also, in combination with that, have a couple of copies of Kricketune as well. This card is super good with Peony because it lets you draw cards from your 0-card hand. We play our Peony, discard our hand, get our 2 cards, play them both, and then use Exciting Stage for 3 cards if it's on the bench and 4 if it is in the active, so we can get a little bit more going and try and get ourselves a little bit closer to a win condition. And finally, our last addition from Chilling Reign is Echoing Horn. This card in itself is good enough to help ADP alone. It means that we can take a Pokemon from your opponent's discard pile and put it into their field of play if they have bench slots left. That means we can knock out a Dedenne in the first couple of turns of the game, use Echoing Horn next turn, put it back onto the bench and knock it out again, and we win the game. It is as simple as that. This deck, is now the cheapest deck that you can get on PTCGO that is also a tier 1 deck. This deck is so good. This list might not be good, but this deck certainly is. What we're going to do is we're going to play this list for a bit, and I just can't believe that ADP is free. It's just obnoxious. Okay, so we've got ourselves a pretty good start here. Our Kricketune is in the active, and we have an ADP in our hand. We also have a Quick Ball here, which I like. I'm going to get rid of the Cherish Ball and grab a Zacian. Then we're going to play down the ADP. We're going to play down the Zacian. We're going to attach the Water Energy. We're going to use Exciting Stage for a couple of cards. And we are going to Intrepid Sword. And we get to attach 2 Metal Energies? Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay, well you can see why this deck is good. I'm just going to move myself across. I'm just so excited. See why ADP is good? I have 3 energy in play on turn 1. Next turn, I'm going to be able to attach an energy and then GX. And then we are hopefully going to be able to put some pressure onto our opponent. Now, we're playing up against the Psychic Shadow Rider Calyrex. This deck is quite good, and it's quite difficult to beat as well. So, it'll be interesting to see what we come up against. That Dedenne. That Dedenne is tasty. The fact that they've played that down means that we will always have an opportunity to try and take a couple of prizes. Plus, the Mewtwo and Mew we can quite easily knock out if we find access to a GX, not a GX card, a sword. I think we just retreat into ADP here. Obviously, our opponent has used Horror House. I don't want to draw cards because I don't want to give my opponent outs to knock me out. Because they would deal 200... they'd deal damage based on the amount of trainers that I have in my hand if they use Horror House. So we don't want that to happen. I wanted to hold on to my hand, but it's been manied away, and that's fair enough. I had the Metal Energy in there. I'm gonna just hope that we draw into another Metal Energy so that we can GX attack this turn. And we do. Alrighty, so... this turn, we are guaranteed to get our GX attack off. The question will become, can we get a good enough turn going to try and get 2 Zacians? Because I suspect that we're about to have our ADP knocked out immediately after we get our GX attack off. So let's grab the energy from Energy Spinner. We're going to attach that to the active. I'm also going to Cherish Ball just to see what's in my opponent's hand here. I don't think I'm going to get anything with Mawile when I play it, but it's definitely worth playing during this turn just to see what they're going to get. I'm also going to Escape Rope into my Kricketune. My opponent's giving me a little bit of a heart here, so interesting. Not sure why. We will retreat back into our ADP. I actually won't Mawile. I'll just use the GX attack. It's stupid. There's only 3 cards in hand. We can save it for later. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Now, our opponent may very well use Trevenant and Dusknoir's attack to knock our ADP out here. And you know what? That's fine by me. If we keep the Dedenne, that's good. If we keep Mawile, that's good. If we keep Saucer, that's good. Mawile, if we keep it, it's whatever. But at least we can play it down and then use our Kricketune. So we're likely to draw 3 or 4 cards here. I'm feeling relatively comfortable that we will actually be able to get a hand off of this turn. Obviously, if we keep the Metal Saucer, that's perfect, because we'll be able to utilize it to get energy onto our Zacian, assuming, of course, that they use their Trevenant Dusknoir's attack to knock me out, which I suspect they will. But if they don't, then it's whatever. Here's the switch. Here's the Night Watch. So, we want to keep one of Sorcerer or Dedenne. Whatever. Whatever, game, it's fine. I'm very upset. But we shouldn't have too many problems here, because I'm 99% sure we can get on and deal with this. I'm just going to play both of these Pokemon down, and then we're going to Exciting Stage. We want an Energy, preferably, and a Supporter if we can. We actually get an Energy off of the Metal Saucer and the Great Catcher, so we can take a knockout on the Dedenne this turn. But we don't want to leave ourselves with nothing to do. Actually, what I might do, I might Quick Ball away the Metal Saucer and grab a Crobat, just so I can draw some more cards here. This actually feels very, very good, and we'll be able to give ourselves a little bit more. Oh, we got the Sword as well, so we can knock out the Mewtwo as well. That's very, very nice. The Mawile has a Water Energy on it now. Let's just retreat into the Zacian and then Brave Blade. Now we take out the Mewtwo, and this is very, very good, because this means now our opponent has no energy in play, and we take 4 prizes, which is very nice. So that's excellent. Even if they do manage to knock me out this turn, which they potentially can, we can get ourselves a knockout thanks to the Mawile. They might not bench another Pokemon because they don't want the Mawile to do damage, but we have Echoing Horn, so we can just put a Pokemon back onto the bench. There's a lot going on. We've got a lot going on here, but we've got a good... This is a good time. We're having a good time. Our opponent, can they ever knock out a Zacian here? That's an interesting question. They can do 3, 6, 9, 12, 150, 180, 190. 190? I think it's 190. So I don't think they can ever knock the Zacian out. It will be interesting to see what our opponent does here. I could also be very wrong. If you watched my last video, where we played Malamar, you will know for a fact that it is very difficult for me to count. Counting is quite tough. I am not gonna lie, it is a tough experience for me. There's an energy, there's another energy. They're going onto the Mewtwo, which is interesting. Because they can actually knock out a Zacian with Mewtwo. Which is quite frightening for me. But luckily, if they do choose to just knock out the Zacian with the Mewtwo, if our hand remains the same, which then we can win the game with Mawile and Echoing Horn. So hopefully, it all works out for us. They're going to resetting hold, very smart, removing their benched Pokemon so that we can't knock them out with the Mawile. Do they have a way to disrupt our hand? They don't. They're going to Cosmic Burn. So they're going to knock out that Zacian, 230 damage, but that's A-okay by me. Because we know for a fact that they have a Pokemon in their discard pile. We can use Echoing Horn, we can attach an energy, we can gust up that Marshadow, and we'll be able to win the game. So let's throw the Marshadow back onto the field. We can use Boss, bring the Marshadow into the active, and then retreat into our Mawile, use Wily Bite for way too much damage, take 2 prizes and win the game. You see why Echoing Horn is so good. Another pretty good start. We've started Kricketune, which is great, and we've got Water Energy, we've got Ball Search, excellent stuff here. ADP coming out, which is great. We've got a Water Energy, which we can attach to it. I'm going to Quick Ball away the Research as well. We're going to grab a Zacian. This deck, man. We're going to throw that down in the active. We're going to Exciting Stage. And then, depending what we top deck here, we are going to Intrepid Sword. We get another energy, which is fabulous. And we are looking very, very good to play up against whatever it is this deck that our opponent is using is. It looks like it is Ice Rider Calyrex. They've actually got the Sableyes sleeves over there. This is... So I know the person that I'm playing against. It's very frustrating. Hello, Blake. How are you doing? Hope you're enjoying... Hopefully this game goes well for both of us. Because I'd like to see it. I'd like to see it become a video. That would be excellent. Cherish Ball, we're going to grab the Mawile. I want to see what my opponent's hand is, I think. Because they've only got 2 cards. So let's just take a look. It doesn't matter if there's no Pokemon here. Level Ball and Calyrex. Okay, so no energy. They don't have any... Let's just go for the Peony here. We could have gone for the Energy Switch, but I can search out the Energy Spinner, but it's not there. So we're going to grab Energy Switch again, which, you know, whatever. Now, it's super inefficient, but that's okay. Probably should have checked the deck when I was searching for the ADP. That's fine. We can Energy Switch our energy onto the ADP. Then we can use Exciting Stage for 4 cards. And we found another energy, which is fantastic. I can retreat into my ADP. I can attach to the active, because there's no way my opponent can knock me out. They'd need to use Leon, and they can't do that unless they top deck amazingly. So I'm feeling relatively comfortable. We've GX'd. They top decked a Water Energy, and that means that now they're going to be able to attack me, which I don't like. The Level Ball here will grab the Drizzile, and they'll grab out probably a supporter of some description. I would imagine that's probably the best way for our opponent to organise themselves here. We just have to hope that they don't get a really, really strong hand off of this Research, because we have been left with not a lot to do. Not a lot to do at all. But I mean, as long as we can Ultimate Ray here, next turn we should be okay. We just don't want our opponent to be able to get us, to lock us into a disappointing and awkward position. Worst case scenario is that they use that Marshadow on the bench to get rid of the Chaotic Swell and replace it with a Path to the Peak. That Tool Scrapper is also quite frustrating, because now we can't use our Kricketune to draw cards and retreat, which we were going to do. Very upsetting. Because next turn, what my plan was, I was going to Escape Rope into the Kricketune and then use it to retreat again. Plus, we could have bossed if we wanted to as well. We're just waiting to see what these last 3 cards are. Path to the Peak is the one being searched for. So there will be that denial for us, which is quite annoying. We need to top deck now. If we top deck a Quick Ball, then we can obviously quite easily get rid of the Path to the Peak. But it's a little bit annoying. We can take prizes as well. We can take 2 prize cards, which I like. Of course, we find an Eldegoss. I'm going to Gust Up. I meant to click on the other one. That's so disappointing. We're just going to Ultimate Ray against this Drizzile. Next turn, our opponent will be able to knock out my ADP. But we have Zacian, which will be able to one-shot this Ice Rider Calyrex, which is really, really good for us. And hopefully we can get a couple of decent prizes here. Maybe a research? No? Okay. Cool. Cool. It's fine. As long as our opponent doesn't find a boss, which they will, from the Inteleon, we are getting absolutely destroyed by this Path to the Peak. You can see why this card is so strong. If you can't get rid of it, it becomes a problem. And this is why this Inteleon version of the, what do you call it, of the Water Horse is really, really good, of Ice Rider Calyrex. It is very, very strong. The Victini version that I played is much worse than this version. I've seen Blake's deck, and he got the boss because he had the Inteleon, of course. I don't even know if he searched it out. He might not have even searched it. I wasn't paying attention. I've seen Blake's version, and it's very, very good. This deck is incredibly, incredibly powerful. We do have ADP, and we have the benefit of the... We could potentially put the Marshadow back onto the bench if we want to. We don't need to. Let's just Ultimate Ray. We have the benefit of Blake needing to take 4 prizes to win this game. We have 3 energy left in the deck, so we're going to attach 2 of them to Mawile. We're going to attach 1 of them to Kricketune. And we are going to hope that we manage to find something to get us out of this mess. It's a little bit awkward, but the current situation as it stands is thus. If we don't get... If we get knocked out, that's fine. We can knock out with more... We just attach the Weakness Guard energy. Okay, we are now top decking for our lives. We need to top deck either a Pokemon search of some description, or just like a supporter, just to get us out. This Path of the Peak has just stopped us in our tracks, and that Weakness Guard energy is very, very frustrating. It's okay though, we can still come back here. We just need to top deck really well. If we could just get something. Okay. Let's just see what we can do here. I'm gonna throw the Marshadow down. I think that's fine. We've got a Peony. We can play it. We're going to discard all these cards. We're going to grab... What are we going to grab? We're going to grab Metal Saucer, Chaotic Swell. What are we going to grab? I think we need to grab it. We've got the Dedenne-GX in the deck. So I think we need to get Chaotic Swell and Cherish Ball. I think those 2 cards are the cards that we need to get. Because if we get Chaotic Swell, we can remove the Path of the Peak. And then the Cherish Ball gets us to the Dedenne. And then with the Dedenne, hopefully we can get somewhere close to knocking this Calyrex out. But it's all riding on this Dedenne here. Let's go for it. Let's actually exciting stage first, because we can draw 4 more cards, and that's very good. We've got a Marshadow, we've got a Quick Ball, so that Quick Ball can grab us a Zacian, which I like. Zacian is a pretty good attacker. We have 3 Metal Saucers left, plus an attachment. So, I mean, we can't attach anything, because we don't have any attachments left in deck. But that's okay, we'll see what we can get. Oh boy, okay. Metal Saucer plus Metal Saucer plus Quick Ball away the research for Crobat. Then we Echoing Horn. We've got 9 cards in the deck, and 1 of them is a Saucer. We're going to draw 5 of 9, so 5 out of 9 chance to win this game right here, right now. Let's draw. We got Metal Saucer, and we got Energy Switch, which I forgot about. Oh my goodness, look at this. This is incredible, all off of 1 Peony. We got 1 Peony, saved us from the Path of the Peak, and knocks out the Ice Rider Calyrex for 290 damage. Well, I bet you to the... I'm speechless. Incredible. So an absolutely incredible deck that you can pick up for pretty much free. How stupid is that? Oh, this deck is a it's incredible. The Peony, I think, makes it slightly less consistent, but it's still really consistent, which just says that ADP is just a busted good deck. Playability-wise, if you've ever seen a game with ADP, if you've ever played against it, you know that it is an A-tier playable card for sure. Consistency-wise, this deck does what it wants to do pretty much all the time. Value is an A? Excuse me, what? They're giving these cards away for free. The Zacians were free last month. You can get one. Like, you get these cards for so cheap. They're just... I can't... Words literally cannot describe it. And fun. I think it's fun to play. It's not fun to play against. This is a straight A deck. This deck is incredible. If you are looking for a place to start competitive Pokemon TCG, there is nothing better at the moment than Arceus, Dialga, and Palkia. And it's just really good. It's as good as you. It's as good as all of you people over here. Thank you very much for watching the video. Hopefully you've enjoyed it, and thank you to all of my channel members for being so supportive of the channel over the last few months. Dadbot, Azazel, Fernando, Yolo, Stephen, Tyage, Enable, Austin, Josiah, Leaf Devourer, Robsy, Brad, Shings, Brad, Justin, Crockataco, and Drew. Thank you everyone for your support over there in the higher tiers of membership. Everyone in white for being a mega Sableye. I appreciate you. And all the regular Sableyes, I don't know, you're spending your cup of coffee every month on me, and I appreciate it. If you want to become a member, there's a join button down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and I will see you next time for more from the Sableyes. Bye. You're just giving it away for free.